1. Embrace your authentic independence. There's something magnetic about people who don't need validation from others to feel whole. They don't shout for attention or seek approval, they simply live on their own terms, guided by personal values. That kind of quiet independence is powerful. It tells the world, I respect myself enough to stand alone if I need to. Being authentically independent doesn't mean isolating yourself or proving you don't care about others. It's about finding fulfillment from within, rather than chasing it externally. In a world filled with comparison and noise, someone who is centered and grounded in who they are stands out without even trying. You don't need to tell people you're confident, they'll see it in the way you move, the way you speak, and how calm you remain under pressure. Independence shows up in the small moments. When you make choices based on your values, when you don't compromise your peace just to please others, and when you can enjoy your own company without needing distraction. But independence isn't always easy. It requires trust in yourself, especially when the crowd disagrees. It means staying true to your path, even when it feels uncertain. The reward is inner stability, and that draws people in more than flashy gestures ever could. This kind of independence isn't arrogance. It doesn't say, I don't need anyone. It says, I'm whole on my own, so I can connect with you from a place of strength, not need. And that's what makes it quietly attractive. People respect those who don't cling or chase, but who share space with confidence and clarity. To build this habit, start by asking, am I living by what truly matters to me, or by what others expect? Spend time alone to reconnect with your inner compass. Walk. Reflect. Sit in silence. The more you align your actions with your values, the more your presence will naturally speak for itself. Real independence isn't loud, but it's deeply felt. It's the quiet power of someone who doesn't need the spotlight to be seen. 2. Master the art of silent elegance. True elegance doesn't need an announcement, it speaks through presence. Silent elegance is the kind of grace that makes people take notice without you saying a word. It's in the way you carry yourself, how you treat others, and the calm, grounded energy you bring into every room. You don't have to be loud or flashy to stand out. In fact, it's often those who move with quiet confidence, who speak intentionally, and who behave with thoughtfulness, that leave the deepest impression. Silent elegance is all about subtlety, refined posture, measured movements, and a steady tone that says, I'm comfortable in who I am. Body language is a powerful part of this. Standing tall, making calm eye contact, and avoiding fidgety or exaggerated gestures shows a level of self-control that commands quiet respect. People feel at ease around someone who radiates calm, because it shows you're in control, not just of the moment, but of yourself. But it's not just about how you look or move, it's also about how you treat others. Politeness, patience, and respect never go out of style. Holding the door for someone, listening without interrupting, or offering a kind smile, these small gestures quietly say a lot about your character. They make people feel seen and valued. In moments of stress or tension, silent elegance really shines. When others lose their temper or scramble for attention, staying composed gives you a powerful edge. The Stoics believed in composure as strength. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, the nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength. That's elegance, not in appearance, but in attitude. To cultivate this habit, start by slowing down. Notice how you walk, how you sit, how you speak. Practice responding instead of reacting. Choose simplicity over drama. Be fully present with others. These small acts of mindfulness shape the energy you bring into every interaction. Silent elegance isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. When you carry yourself with quiet grace, people don't always know what it is about you that draws them in, but they feel it. And that's what makes it so powerful. 3. The subtle scent of sophistication. Sometimes, it's the smallest, quietest details that leave the biggest impression. One of the most underrated yet powerful aspects of silent attractiveness is scent. A subtle, well-chosen fragrance can make someone instantly memorable, not because it demands attention, but because it lingers softly, hinting at refinement and care. The key word here is subtle. A strong or overpowering scent can be off-putting. But a light, clean, intentional fragrance, something that fits your personality, creates a quiet aura of sophistication. It tells people, without saying a word, I pay attention to the details. I take care of myself. I respect those around me. Think about it, how often do you remember someone because of how they smelled? Scent is tied directly to memory and emotion. A soft, pleasant fragrance becomes part of your presence. It's not just about smelling good. It's about communicating self-awareness and intention through something as simple and natural as how you carry your essence into a room. But this habit goes beyond cologne or perfume. The scent of sophistication also comes from cleanliness, good hygiene, and grooming. Clean hair, fresh breath, and well-maintained clothing all contribute to how others perceive you. These quiet signals, often unnoticed on a conscious level, shape the way people feel around you. And people naturally gravitate toward those who take pride in themselves. The Stoics, though focused on inner virtue, understood the connection between outer presentation and inner order. Seneca once said, "Let your outward appearance be simple and dignified, reflecting the serenity of your mind." That means the way you show up in the world should align with the balance and calm you cultivate within. To develop this habit, begin with awareness. Choose a fragrance that feels like you, nothing loud, just something refined that complements your natural energy. Maintain a daily self-care routine, not out of vanity, but out of self-respect. These small habits, done consistently, speak volumes over time. Silent sophistication doesn't require attention, it earns it. It doesn't try to impress, it leaves a quiet mark. And when you walk through life with this kind of subtle care, people notice. They may not say it aloud, but they'll remember you, not for what you said, but for the energy you carried. And the quiet confidence that followed even after you'd gone. 4. Being fully present. In a world where everyone's attention is pulled in 1,000 directions, presence is rare, and incredibly attractive. There's something deeply compelling about someone who's truly there when you talk to them. Not half listening while checking their phone. Not thinking about what to say next. Just fully engaged. That kind of presence makes people feel important, and that feeling is unforgettable. Being fully present isn't about perfection. It's about intention. It's choosing to put your phone away, to listen without interrupting, and to give your full attention to the person in front of you. This isn't flashy or loud. But it creates a quiet kind of connection that stands out in a distracted world. We've all been in conversations where someone clearly isn't all there. It feels cold, dismissive, and disconnecting. Now flip that, when someone looks you in the eye, listens closely, and responds thoughtfully, it makes you feel respected and valued. That's the power of presence. It says, without saying anything at all, you matter. The Stoics placed great value on living in the moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." To the Stoics, strength came from focusing your attention on the here and now, not being caught up in regrets or future worries. That mindset doesn't just bring peace, it builds presence. Being present also heightens your social awareness. You start picking up on subtle emotional cues, tone, body language, even what's left unsaid. You become more empathetic, more responsive, and more grounded in your interactions. And that makes people trust and feel safe around you. To build this habit, start small. Practice mindfulness in everyday moments, while eating, walking, or speaking with someone. Put distractions away and give your full attention. Ask questions. Listen not just to respond, but to truly understand. Over time, you'll notice something powerful. People will open up more around you. Conversations will feel richer. Your relationships will deepen, not because you said more, but because you were more present. In a noisy, rushed world, presence is rare. So be the one who slows down. Who listens. Who really shows up. That kind of quiet attention makes people feel seen, and that's a form of silent attractiveness that leaves a lasting impression long after the moment has passed. 5. A touch of mystery. In an age of oversharing, there's something quietly captivating about someone who keeps a part of themselves private. A touch of mystery doesn't mean being distant or secretive, it means being intentional about what you reveal and when. That space, that subtle restraint, creates curiosity. And curiosity is powerful. When you give everything away too soon, your thoughts, your stories, your past, there's nothing left for people to discover. But when you share thoughtfully and leave room for others to wonder, you become more engaging. People are naturally drawn to what they don't fully understand. They want to know more, not because you're holding back to play games, but because there's depth behind your presence. Mystery isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about being secure enough to let your actions speak louder than your words. You don't need to explain every move or decision. Let people observe you, ask questions, and earn the deeper parts of your story over time. That's how trust is built, and attraction grows. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus taught, be silent, or let your words be worth more than silence. Silence, used with intention, can create a strong impression. It says, I don't need attention to feel secure. I'm at peace with who I am. You can also express mystery through the way you live. Have interests, goals, and passions that aren't all on display. When people get to know you, they should feel like they're peeling back layers, not hitting a wall, but uncovering more substance with every interaction. That sense of depth makes you unforgettable. To cultivate this habit, start by being mindful of why you share. Are you revealing something to connect, or to be validated? Not everything has to be said. Let some things remain yours. Protect your peace and your story. When you hold a little back, not out of fear, but out of confidence, you send a powerful message, I know who I am, and you'll get to know me at the right pace. And that quiet, self-assured mystery makes people want to stay close. Not because you're loud or showy, but because there's something in you they haven't figured out yet. That's the beauty of mystery, it draws people in, and keeps them coming back. 6. Cultivate cultural wisdom. There's something quietly impressive about someone who carries a broad understanding of the world. They don't try to dominate conversations or prove how much they know, but when they speak, their words reflect depth, awareness, and thoughtfulness. That's cultural wisdom. And it's one of the most silently attractive traits you can develop. Cultural wisdom isn't about collecting trivia or showing off your passport stamps. It's about staying curious, about people, beliefs, perspectives, and experiences beyond your own. It's the habit of listening, learning, and expanding your view of the world without losing your center. People are drawn to those who understand more than just their own experience. When you can speak with sensitivity and empathy across cultures, generations, and backgrounds, you become a bridge, someone who makes others feel seen and respected. You don't need to speak multiple languages or have a degree in world history. All it takes is openness, humility, and a genuine desire to learn. The Stoics, though ancient, were deeply attuned to the value of seeing the world clearly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look beneath the surface. Let not the obvious mislead you." Cultural wisdom is exactly that, the ability to go deeper, to see past appearances, and to respond with understanding rather than judgment. To build this habit, start by exploring outside your comfort zone. Read books from different cultures. Watch films, listen to music, or follow creators with diverse viewpoints. Ask thoughtful questions when you meet someone whose background differs from yours, not to impress, but to connect. Most importantly, listen. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. Practice engaging with curiosity rather than comparison. This not only broadens your perspective, but it also makes others feel valued in your presence. Cultural wisdom also helps you handle conflict and misunderstanding with grace. Instead of reacting defensively, you respond with insight. That kind of emotional maturity is rare, and people notice it. In a world that often feels divided and surface level, someone who listens deeply, speaks thoughtfully, and shows respect for different walks of life becomes a grounding presence. You won't need to chase attention, your quiet intelligence will naturally attract people to you. So stay curious. Stay open. Let your worldview expand, and watch how that silent depth becomes one of your greatest strengths. 7. The heartbeat of compassion. In a world that often moves too fast, genuine compassion stands out. Not because it's loud or dramatic, but because it's rare. True compassion isn't about grand gestures, it's about being fully present with someone in their moment of need. It's quiet, steady, and deeply human. Compassion is attractive because it creates safety. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel understood, not judged. You don't have to have the perfect words or fix anyone's problems. Sometimes, just listening without rushing to respond is enough. That small, sincere act of care can leave a bigger impression than anything you could say. Many people chase charm or confidence to seem attractive. But warmth, offered quietly, with no strings attached, builds something stronger, trust. And trust is the foundation of every meaningful connection. The Stoics often get misunderstood as cold or emotionless. But that's far from the truth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." That's Stoic compassion, strength combined with kindness. It's not about being soft, it's about showing up with empathy, even when life is hard, even when no one's watching. To cultivate this habit, start by slowing down and truly listening to others. Not to fix, not to reply quickly, but to understand. Offer patience. Offer presence. Even a small smile, a gentle tone, or simply remembering someone's name can make them feel seen. And remember, compassion also begins with how you treat yourself. If you're constantly criticizing your own thoughts, emotions, or struggles, it's hard to offer kindness to others. So give yourself grace, too. Rest when you need it. Forgive your mistakes. Be patient with your own growth. The more you care for your inner world, the easier it becomes to share that care outward. Compassion doesn't have to be loud. In fact, it's strongest when it's quiet, when it's offered without performance, without the need for recognition. And that kind of steady warmth is unforgettable. People may not remember everything you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel. So ask yourself, do I bring comfort into the spaces I enter? Do people feel lighter after being around me? If the answer is yes, even just sometimes, you're already practicing the heartbeat of compassion, and that is one of the most attractive forces in the world. 8. Laughter and joy. Few things are as effortlessly attractive as someone who carries genuine joy. It's not about being the life of the party or cracking jokes every second, it's about having a lightness in your spirit that puts others at ease. When you know how to laugh, especially at yourself, and find joy even in small moments, you radiate a kind of warmth that people naturally gravitate toward. In a world where stress and seriousness often dominate, joy becomes a rare and powerful quality. It's not about ignoring life's challenges, but about choosing how you respond to them. Being able to smile in tough times, to find humor in the ordinary, and to lift others up without trying too hard, those are signs of quiet emotional strength. The Stoics understood this well. While often seen as stern, their philosophy taught that while we can't control what happens to us, we can control how we react. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Laughter, in this context, is more than happiness, it's resilience. It shows you're not easily shaken by life's storms. People are drawn to those who don't take themselves too seriously. When you can laugh at your own mistakes, you become more relatable. You give others permission to relax, to be imperfect, and to enjoy the moment without pressure. This kind of joy isn't loud or performative, it's felt in the little things. A relaxed smile, a shared laugh, a calm optimism in tough situations. These subtle expressions of joy create an environment of ease. People want to be around you because you make life feel lighter, more manageable. To develop this habit, start by noticing what makes you smile throughout the day. Share that lightness with others, a thoughtful joke, a positive observation, or simply a warm presence. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. Don't force humor, just allow yourself to enjoy life without filtering every moment through seriousness or stress. And remember, joy is contagious. When you carry it with humility and authenticity, others feel it. They may not always remember your exact words, but they'll remember how you made them feel, calm, welcomed. And maybe even a little happier. In a noisy world, be the one who brings quiet joy. It's not flashy, but it's powerful. And that subtle, steady happiness? It's one of the most silently attractive things about you. 9. The art of self-care. There's a quiet, undeniable strength in someone who genuinely takes care of themselves, not out of vanity, but out of self-respect. True self-care isn't about spa days or indulgence. It's about consistently showing up for yourself, mind, body, and soul. And that commitment to well-being radiates a kind of calm confidence that others instinctively notice. Self-care sends a powerful message without needing to say a word, I value myself. When you prioritize your health, rest, boundaries, and emotional balance, you show the world, and yourself, that your well-being matters. And that quiet self-respect is deeply attractive. Taking care of your physical health is the foundation. Eating well, staying active, and getting enough rest don't just improve how you feel, they project discipline, self-awareness, and stability. You don't need to chase a perfect image. What people respond to is the sense that you care enough about your life to take responsibility for it. Mental and emotional self-care are just as essential. In a world full of pressure and noise, tending to your inner peace makes you stand out. Whether it's through journaling, meditation, or simply setting aside time to unplug and reflect. These habits help you stay centered. And when you're centered, others feel it. You become a source of steadiness in a chaotic world. The Stoics believed in balance. Seneca wrote, "A sound mind in a sound body is a short but full description of a happy state in this world." Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's a form of wisdom. Because when you're well, you show up better for others. You listen more deeply. You love more freely. You lead with clarity. To practice this habit, start small. Drink more water. Get enough sleep. Protect your time and energy. Learn to say no without guilt. Set routines that nourish you, not drain you. And most importantly, view self-care not as a reward, but as a responsibility. Over time, this steady investment in yourself becomes visible, not through flashy change, but through your presence. You walk with more calm. You speak with more patience. You respond, not react. People are drawn to those who respect themselves. You won't need to announce it. The care you give yourself will quietly speak for you. 10. Emotional intelligence and social awareness. There's a special kind of magnetism in someone who just seems to get it, who knows how to read a room, respond with care, and navigate emotions with calm clarity. That's emotional intelligence paired with social awareness. And while it's not flashy or loud, it's one of the most quietly attractive traits a person can have. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions, while also recognizing and responding to the emotions of others. It's what helps you stay composed during conflict, patient in frustration, and kind even when you're tired. Instead of reacting impulsively, you pause, reflect, and respond with intention. This kind of steady presence builds trust fast. People feel safe with you, not because you fix their problems, but because you don't add chaos to the room. You listen without judgment. You speak with care. And you know when silence is more powerful than words. Social awareness takes that even further. It's the skill of noticing unspoken cues, body language, tone, energy shifts, and adjusting how you engage. It's knowing when to step up and when to step back. When to speak and when to let someone else be heard. The Stoics understood the value of this. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." That wisdom still applies today. When you truly pay attention, not just to what's said, but to how it's said, you connect more deeply and respectfully. To build this habit, start by practicing self-awareness. Notice how you react in emotional moments. Ask yourself, am I leading with intention or just reacting? Then, begin to tune in more closely to those around you. Listen fully. Watch body language. Create space for others to feel seen and understood. You don't need to be a therapist or a mind reader. Just be present and observant. Over time, people will notice how calm they feel around you, how easy it is to talk to you. And that quiet emotional presence becomes a kind of gravity. You don't chase connection. It finds you. In a world full of noise, emotional intelligence speaks softly, but it speaks volumes. It says, "I see you. I understand. And I'm steady, no matter what's happening around us." 11. Consistency and reliability. In a world where people often overpromise and underdeliver, simply being dependable is quietly powerful. You don't need to make grand declarations or seek praise. When you consistently show up, follow through, and stay steady, even when it's inconvenient, you build something rare, trust. Reliability isn't flashy. It doesn't make headlines. But it makes people feel safe around you. When others know they can count on you, whether it's to keep a promise or just be there when it matters, you become someone they naturally respect. That quiet track record speaks louder than any charm or boldness ever could. Consistency shows integrity. It means your actions match your words, not just once, but repeatedly over time. It's doing the right thing, even when no one's watching. It's honoring your commitments, even in small things. And that kind of steady behavior builds deep credibility. The Stoics were all about living with principle. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That means embodying your values, day after day. Not through performance, but through practice. Consistency isn't about perfection. It's about being rooted. This habit also reflects how you treat yourself. When you keep promises to yourself, waking up when you said you would, sticking to your goals, caring for your health, you build self-trust. And that internal steadiness shows up in how you carry yourself. People can feel when you're grounded, and that draws them in. To cultivate consistency and reliability, start small. Keep your word. Even on the little things. Be someone who returns messages, meets deadlines, or simply shows up when they say they will. Over time, those small actions compound into a strong, stable reputation. And don't forget emotional consistency, staying calm under pressure, not flipping moods unpredictably. That steadiness makes others feel secure around you. You become the one who doesn't panic when things go wrong, who brings clarity instead of confusion. In the end, consistency is a quiet superpower. You won't need to announce it, people will feel it. They'll respect you not for what you say, but for what you do, reliably, patiently, and without the need for attention. Be the person others can count on. In doing so, you become someone whose presence alone offers a sense of strength. And that, more than anything, is silently attractive.